How to create immediate attraction with women. When it comes to attracting women, a lot guys have no clue how to create attraction in the first place. Having a conversation is one thing, but using the power of your words to spark her interest is a whole other ball game. That's why so many men can't figure out why they're falling flat on their faces and end up getting brushed off. Instead, women are flocking towards guys who skip the boring conversational stuff and create sexual tension right under their radars. In fact, this is the very area of attraction where most guys fail. They tend to take the safe path by not having the nerve to hint about their true feelings. In their minds, dropping hints to let a girl know they like her is the way to rejection. They couldn't be more wrong. On the contrary, you're more likely to make a girl curious about you by creating some ambiguity about your feelings towards her, that is being just a friend versus someone who likes her. You can't afford to come off as this sterile version of yourself who can't even admit to himself that he likes the girl he's talking to. If you want her to have those same feelings for you, everything you do, such as your conversational style and non-verbal communication, needs to work towards this purpose. To make this happen, you first need to accept that there's nothing wrong with approaching a girl with romantic intentions. Otherwise, you'll be uncomfortable talking to her in the first place, and this uneasy vibe is going to affect her as well. She'll get weirded out by your awkwardness, and you'll quickly go down in flames. Either that, or you'll get banished to the friend zone that a lot of guys keep finding themselves in. If you want to extinguish that creepy or platonic vibe that other men unconsciously give off, you'll need to talk to women in a way that plays up your attractive side so she doesn't see you as just another loser or harmless guy. The simplest way to be intriguing is by delicately working into the conversation about how driven you are when it comes to living in general. Most women would say that they want a guy who has goals and ambitions. That's because they're attracted to men who have a sense of purpose in life. The best part about cultivating this carpe diem personality is that you just have to draw from an area of your life that really gets you going. You know, something you could talk about enthusiastically for hours on end. Let's say you're into vintage automobiles because you're a sucker for all kinds of cars from different eras. For you, it's infinitely fascinating to learn about a certain model because of the culture that comes with it. Maybe in your eyes, cars aren't just a piece of machinery, but rather a work of art that also serves as a slice of history. If this is what gets your motor running, then it gives you plenty of stuff to talk about. Maybe not every woman you'll meet will be a gearhead like you, but you can still create rapport by talking about cars from a historical and cultural standpoint as well. Who knows, you could slip in a few pop cultural references in the conversation to get her interested in you. So regardless of what it is, using your interests will help you give women the impression that you're not just a knowledgeable guy, but also someone who feels really strongly about a certain field. And that equals an enthusiastic attitude towards life. Remember, the quality of the conversation is only as good as the level of energy you bring to the table. Here's another good way to seal the deal. Avoid groveling. That's right. Acting like you have to bribe her just to have a few minutes of her time puts you at an extreme disadvantage. You're not creating attraction when you give up the game by being super nice to her so quickly. Push back a little and give her some attitude, and by that I mean being playful and humorous instead of showering her with compliments like the other schmucks she's shot down before you. From a woman's perspective, it's actually a little sickening to see a guy grovel his way to her affections. I mean, why be so nauseatingly sweet to someone you barely even know, just because she happens to be attractive? So you're better off being fun to talk to by teasing her a bit. Just make sure you don't cross over any boundaries, which generally means staying away from sexual innuendo, for now, or making fun of her in a harsh or nasty way. Other than that, don't be afraid to get a chuckle or two out of her so she'll think of you as a potential partner instead of a friend she'll never have feelings for. When you learn to set yourself apart from the other men dropping at her feet, you're letting her know that you're on equal ground with her instead of turning into some spineless version of yourself. You could even go as far as disagree with her, in a cool, casual, non-threatening way. If your opinion is truly different from hers, she'll appreciate that you're man enough to speak your mind rather than just shut your trap out of fear of displeasing her or some BS like that. It's a bit tricky at first to find the perfect balance of being a nice guy and being a jerk, but only experience can teach you how to find this point where you're cool and level-headed enough not be intimidated by her beauty, but also sweet enough to show her what a great guy you are. Once you're in the zone, not the friend zone that is, you'll have no problem triggering all the right emotions to become irresistible in her eyes. Thank you. If you would like any further advice, click the link below.